and hike a little short.
And also it looks like you're wearing a backpack already. No, that will get lost.
We should have more than enough.
I think so too.
Like for a week.
Yeah.
If you can carry sausages and instant mashed potatoes.
Huh? I'm supposed to sound happy.
Or not sound at all. Stay. Swing.
This one?
Come. You come.
There's a feeling that reliably arises when you have packed everything, locked the car and hit the beginning of the trail. It's not really freedom yet, but more a relief of leaving behind everyday worries, aspirations and most importantly, phone reception. For many of us, hard to grasp computer work and constant availability are going to be replaced by essential tasks like fetching water, fishing, cooking, building fires and setting up shelters. The foggy quarterly goals at the company turn into walking a clearly outlined distance before the evening hits, and you'll get rewarded with stunning views, unexplored fishing grounds and a calm night of sleep, just waiting for the morning coffee with a view. The connection between physical labor and reward is suddenly reinstated, and you will slowly be part of the landscape again, instead of being separately contained in concrete cities. The annoying loan that you have isn't of importance here, and there are few rules and no bureaucracy to tie you down. In the coming days or even weeks, nobody will see your actions, so your conscience and morals are the only ones to judge from here.
What a view you have from up here. Very much looking like Jurassic Park. amazing with those planks. They make your life so much easier. Normally they're a bit thinner, so here you have the luxury version over the wetter parts of the area. Must have been a big job to get them all out here. Look at that clear water once more. This river is made for drinking. We went from the uphill path into the valley, now along the sides of it. The river is somewhere back behind those trees and it is rather steep. Still a very good path. You just need to be a bit careful with your steps. Now that we arrived at the halfway part, the lake for today, time to look for a tent spot. But this area is so frequently used that you just need to follow the paths to the flat spots. Doesn't really feel like being out in the wild at all, but that's what you get with the places that are exceptionally pretty. very Thank you. Let's see then. First throw. First catch. It has been a very well maintained path and a beautiful surrounding so far. First you go up a crystal clear river, there should be even some salmon in there, then climb up a little bit over the first ridge, like waterfallish stuff. You come into a valley, climb up again and go over to the place that we're now here. So it's nice to have the differences in terrain and get you mentally challenged a little. Otherwise, walking straight for very long stretches can be a bit hard or boring. Beautiful area, but a bit too beautiful to have it for yourself. It is very frequently hiked. So since we woke up, maybe 2 hours, there were at least 6-7 people passing by. That's not really how I enjoy it. It feels more like a maintained park than wilderness. Of course you can go off the road and wherever you want to here and pitch your tent, which is what I would suggest to you. But yesterday we were starting very late, so this was the easy solution. In the planning, if you're gonna do this hike, I would suggest taking some extra hours, walk an hour, 1.5 off the path, and then find yourself a peaceful spot. Preferably with a lake to fish. If you need a fishing cart here though, 75 crowns or $7.50 per day. Rather expensive. And this water here looks amazing, but no fish in there. Like, it is fish, but it's very small. Bit like a highway.
There are 40 absolutely beautiful national parks on mainland Norway, but after visiting a few of them, I'm not 100% sure if they are always a net positive for nature and biodiversity. Pretty much like the videos I'm making here. In a discussion about creating a park in our home region, people concluded that nature would be better protected with reserves and without the publicity a national park brings. It was a decision the Sami, the indigenous people of Northern Europe in our region, very much agreed with. Not only would there be more paths and substantial numbers of visitors once the facilities are in place, But the regulations also affect indigenous and local communities by restricting their traditional use of land.
Papush! Hey!
The 40 national parks across the country make up slightly more than 9% of Norway's total land area. If you include nature reserves, then it's 12 to 15% that is protected. And while those areas are little bubbles of land, much wildlife isn't exactly stationary. I'm very happy that there are already that many national parks in Norway, but whenever I see a hunting picture from, let's say, 30, 40 years ago, and the amount of game that they had back then, it seems like it's just not enough. As for the videos that I'm making, I would love people to use and roam nature like we all once did. Without experiencing how it feels to be out there, it's hard to comprehend that nature will provide a solution for most of our basic needs if we let it.
Where's your second one? There. Push.
Oh, just water.
Yeah, but he needs that first. This is a bit better than the spot at the highway yesterday.
Today we cut the hike a little short. Instead of going the whole 12.6 kilometers, we only went about half to spend a night a bit further away from the trail, right at this wonderful blue lake. And that's how I suggest you should do your national park adventures. You use the marked trek as the main route, and then whenever the time comes for the day to settle, you take off the trek and find a peaceful place where you can spend some time alone. It's much better than pacing along the main road and seeing it as a sort of exercise in the mountain while never really finding the true peace of nature. A nice rock,
Nice table.
very flat surface. Should I boil coffee? Night shift here.
Night shift. How are we creating the Great Wall of China? Let me see.
It's nice that you warmed up the sitting pad.
Nice.
The water is amazingly clear. 4 or 5 meters deep here, you can jump perfectly in. It looks a little lifeless. I've seen a few fish surfacing, but nothing at all was biting at the hook. It's 11 o'clock now, time to go to sleep and wake up early tomorrow, because the weather forecast that we looked at before we started this hike said that Thursday is gonna be rather rainy. Probably hold for the day.
You can see where the clips have been. Oh yeah. And also here, looks like you're wearing a backpack already.
Norway is celebrating the Year of the Outdoors in 2025. The main aim is to help everybody find their own joy outside in nature. After living in many different places, I feel like this is something every country should have. And regardless on where you are from, I invite you to join in on this small country initiative. Knowing how to live comfortably in the outdoors, how to catch your dinner, and how good a small fire with a good wind shelter feels like is liberating. And it's also good to know that there is a place where news and politics do not matter, and that it always will be there. When we arrived at the cabin, Thea was using the opportunity to rest for a bit in the wind shelter, but my body doesn't particularly know exhaustion when we're out exploring new terrain. So a quick coffee and a few way too small brownies later, it was time to work on something that was very much missing until this point: a decent mountain trout dinner. And after a while of fishing my way around the lake, I came to one of the most beautiful viewpoints I had ever seen.
Very hard to comprehend this. Absolutely insane view. There's no wind over there.
Ah ja, is det.
No.
Is det.
Happy bush. You already drew on the head?
Being out on an adventure never fails to give me the same feeling. You get this brief window of how life can be away from the mundane. Not draining, but energizing with every breath of fresh air, every meter you hike, and every new view you discover. The days only end when you force yourself to bed, already thinking about the next morning, hoping that this will go on forever. And when you come back home, modern luxuries are for a while getting the appreciation they deserve. Until our freedom-longing brains feel trapped again, or at least mine, and you start fantasizing about leaving it all behind for a cabin in the woods. If there's anything you can take from this video, then please go try spending some extended time in nature. I think our societies will do better with more people knowing how this feels.
Breakfast is ready. Straight up to the iceberg. Pretty good life.
very hot.